I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Prince Dykes. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing outstanding today, and it's an enjoyable night as well. How about yourself?
I'm excellent, my friend. It's really a great night. Tonight, I am actually planning to get in bed by 9 p.m., which hasn't happened in the last 70-something days.
Wow. I don't think that's happened in a couple of years for me.
Oh, my. Oh, yeah. I look forward to that. Let me knock on wood. Well, tell us, what part of the world are you in right now, Prince?
Right now, I am United States. I'm in Georgia right now, home for the holidays.
Oh, wonderful. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
I don't know, Angel, you might have to say that, but I think it was build a podcast.
Yeah, most
Invest
definitely.
yourself.
Yeah. Tell us about your podcast. Tell us what you do there, please.
Oh, well, my podcast is called The Investor Show. And what I do on the Investor Show is it's financial literacy. Financial literacy, when we talk about investing, we talk about, business and things like that. So it's everything from insurance to stocks to real estate to things about investing. And we bring on some of the top business people and interesting people from around the world and around the globe to come in and talk about business and mostly financial literacy.
So who did you learn that skill from, financial literacy?
Well, my financial journey started out when I joined the United States Navy at 18 as a logistics specialist. That was my introduction into finance. And along the way, I went on and earned my associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's in business administration. Then I went and got my Series 65, Series 63 financial education certifications, life insurance agent, all of the good stuff like that when I got the formal education. But that started it. That was my background. That's what got me into it. And I was kind of always wondering, why wasn't I taught this as a child? How did I not know this? How could I be living in the richest country in the world and not know about investing? So that sparked my interest. That's what I learned about it. And then I had this desire to why I didn't know this at a younger age. And that's when I started writing financial literacy books for children.
Wow.
And cartoons and things like that. Then I started with a Facebook page. Then it turned into a YouTube channel. Then it turned into a podcast. Then ended up getting onto the radio. Then I actually had a local show there in Hawaii called The Prince of Investing. That's what I was dubbed as by Think Tech Hawaii.
Wow.
So it's been a pretty interesting journey.
Yeah, you've been busy.
Pretty interesting journey.
I have one friend in the U.S. military, and I got the opportunity to see him study, right? He just completed his master's, and it is so challenging because he's working, and then he has his service time, and then he has his family time, and then he has the study time. So I'm guessing you've definitely put in the work, my friend.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It takes, it's not... you're not the typical student. You're working every day, and you have to find a way. But if there's a way, if there's a desire, there's a way.
Love that. Why will you continue to grow yourself to be able to help others?
You said, how would I be able to grow myself?
Actually, why? More challenging question. Why?
Why? I would say why is because I like the self-knowledge. And then by self, I can break a chain. I can not break the chain, but I can set my family onto a new path, right? If I become good at investing, I'm good at investing, I become knowledgeable. Naturally, I teach it to my son, and I pass it down to him. I just want him to be, or the next generation to just be a slight bit better than myself. So I become what you call a quote unquote student of the game, reading a lot of books, meeting some of the best investors in the world, studying and becoming sharper on my skill. And as I learn things, I show it throughout my YouTube channel. I show it throughout my social media, television and radio, and the material that I write, the podcast and stuff like that. And the world learns with me, and they grow with me. And some people love what I do.
Well, tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Over the last 3 years, I have consistently created a cartoon created a book series, podcast. Well, I've only been in podcast for a year, but I have done, YouTube for 4 years. My first book is about 2.5, 3 years old. I think I mentioned that. But pretty much everything you see me doing today is been pretty consistent with everything. Like from writing books and cartoons and podcasts and Facebook and YouTube and all that type of good stuff.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel pretty. At the time, I didn't know that I didn't foresee myself getting to this point and doing some of the great things I've done. But when I look back, I'm like, wow, I've been doing this for 4 years now.
Wow.
Going on 5 years.
Hmm.
I've done this and done that, and it's just been pretty great the way everything has happened so far.
If there's someone that's listening who is walking in that park right now, wondering what to do with their life, why would you suggest to them that they do what you've done by really diving into the education that can help you move forward?
You're saying what I suggest what they should do?
Yeah.
I would say first, become a student and always stay humble and become a student of what you're doing and be passionate about what you're doing. Because with that being said, if you're a student, I see a lot of people, they learn one trick and they learn something one time and then they try to go off and, do whatever the case may be, which is cool, maybe fine. But for me, I would say be consistent. Be consistent, be a student, and learn and take the knowledge with you.
Love it. Amazing audience. You are live with Prince Dykes. He is the podcast host of the Investor Show. Prince, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Prince, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory, I think I had to be about 2 years old. And at the age of 2 years old, I remember we used to live in this little trailer in Georgia. And I remember having a diaper on, and I think I don't remember using the bathroom myself or something. And
wow.
I remember running to my parents' room, and it was only my dad in there asleep. I remember staring at him crying, and him getting up and changing me. That's my earliest memory. For some reason, that just stuck out in my head, and that's like probably the earliest childhood memory that I can recall.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you're 2 years old. You run in. He's crying. Is he crying as a result of you being there, or did you just?
No. It was me crying.
Oh, it was you crying. Okay.
He was sleeping, laying in the bed. I remember just staring at him, crying or whatever. I mean, the way he looked at me, like he jumped up and stared at me, and I remember him changing me.
Oh, that's
like my
intriguing.
earliest. I don't know why that sticks out of my head or why it did, but that's just one thing that just always stuck out of my head as a child. I probably was 1 or 2. I know I wasn't potty trained.
Yeah, most definitely, right? Well, can I offer an interpretation to the humorous thought picture you created in my mind? So I love the idea, if I needed to connect the dots, right, of you and your awareness of what it takes to get you out of your mess. It's funny, right? But at the same time, the principles are so applicable. Because one of the first things is understanding where you are, right? And then the second thing is understanding who can help. And then the third thing is going to that help. And it's intriguing that as an investor, you have definitely shown others how to do that, right? How to understand the mess that they're in, where they can go to get the assistance, and how they can get out. Isn't that intriguing?
That's pretty funny how you connected the dots and put that together. That was pretty. That was cool. I gotta say that was pretty cool.
Pretty amazing. Well, if we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
I don't know, Hank, if you want to hear some of what I was listening to back then. 12 years old, I had to be about in the 6th, 7th grade. From Waynesboro, Georgia, and our local artist we had at that time that was kind of up and coming was a guy by the name of Pastor Troy.
Right.
And that song to me, he had a song called I think it was called No More Play in GA. GA as in Georgia. Yeah, that was like it was a rowdy type song. I remember around that age, that was like the thing to do. That was the thing to listen to.
All right. Well, Most definitely. I think when you think about connecting the dots with Prince Dykes, there's definitely no more play, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Prince, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Prince?
I'm ready.
Prince, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married?
Yes.
You were about to say your son, I think, right?
Yes, I was about to say my son, Wesley. That's what I was about to say. But
wonderful.
yes.
Do you have children? Other children than Wesley?
No.
All right. Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
I would say yes.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Phone and the computer, more than 8.
Prince, after 1,001 conversations, in 3 months in 2016, I came up with a workbook. The name of it is called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And the idea is you answer questions similar to these to connect to your mission, if you would, which I call Your Own Unique Real Statement. Prince, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Prince Dykes, what would you say that is?
My statement would be integrity and honesty.
Prince Dykes, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I say thank you guys for having me. I truly enjoyed being here, and I think what you're doing is great, Angel.
Hey, I appreciate that tremendously. Prince Dykes, thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.